Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, beautiful people? Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Lilu. Good to see you all. If you guys are in the Discord, make sure to check out all the different posts. I say I do a really good job, but I try my best every day to post at least something in the morning. And if there's nothing in the morning, then I've probably posted a shit ton the day before, that afternoon after the previous day's close and stuff. So but basically what I'm trying to say is I always try to have information in between days. Therefore, there's something to actually look at and kind of breathe and digest a little bit for the next day. At least it's how I like to think. I like to have things ready a little early, just so I already kind of have it in my head. Yo yo yo, what's up, Letterbuck? Good to see you, bro. Good morning, Risen. Good to see you, bro. Beat me to the Nasdaq win streak. Fun fact. I did. Oh, with my need to know market risk post. To be fair, I'm cheating, but I've already told y'all how I cheat. It's not really cheating. I just call it that because I'm stupid. But if you go to financialjuice.com, it's free. I really, really fucking love this first paragraph that's always pinned to the top of the page. So no matter what gets said or posted here, there's always this beautiful little summary of the day or need to know market risk right here. I also, only other thing I do on this side is I click on this little icon here and I turn on only importance high. I don't give a fuck about anything else because there's way too much shit that gets posted here, and even then, there's still things that I don't look at or pay attention to because some things are just like, yes, that exists. That doesn't mean it's going to move the entirety of the market. There's a lot of things that are like that. Um, and then the only other thing is briefing.com, which nothing to really look at yet. There's things you can read now, sure, from the past few days, but uh, it's about 30 minutes or 40 minutes or maybe even an hour after the open. I really like to go to this site and just kind of check to see is there any kind of briefing update because they'll sometimes post a little update down here as well. And it's kind of similar to this. It's not a lot of wording and it's a lot of just great information. It's not like I'm being given a bias of something. It's just straight up telling me, hey, this is what happened. This is what's going to happen. These are the things that were affected. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't care about the bias. I don't care about whose feelings got hurt. I'm just trying to figure out what information do I need to know about for the day. So if I check those two spots every single day, you can check Financial Juice basically anytime. Briefing, I would definitely give it like 30 minutes to an hour after open, just kind of check on that during the day. That's more of a during the day checkup kind of thing. But both of those are seriously just such cheat codes for just quick information and news on the market. And I only really express it that way because I feel like so many people these days get so scared of news and so scared of just basic events. It's almost like they forget this market runs on catalysts like that. Whether it's an earnings news or it's some CEO news or some shit like that or global news. It doesn't matter. The market runs on news. You're going to get news. There's going to be data or news or however you mask it or reword it. I don't care. It's going to happen. So I just like that you can go to these two things and kind of stay in front of that a little bit. But yeah, today, guys, make sure to check out the different Discord posts. I've already kind of shown everything that we're looking at today. But make sure to check out the main area. So I have this area highlighted. I don't normally do this, but I was looking over to the left last night and this morning and just kind of looking back and seeing this area over here. It's really the only gap I see that's like there, right? You have this one right here, but it's not that big. A couple back here from the rally up, but into February, there's this one right here where one of the lower highs is. You see how we kind of came down here? That's like the first one, second one. Where that third lower high comes in is where they started to really fall, fall from. That's the last gap up before all of that movement happens. So I was looking back at that and I was like, all right, well, maybe that's something to think about. And if you look, both of our drawdown fibs perfectly like circle around this area. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just throw it in between there just to show everybody. And then this little level up here, because some of you are probably like, what the hell is this level, Bueller? This was the pre-market high. Things could have moved higher. No, they didn't. We're still just there. Okay. But I wanted to have it marked just in case, which again, you guys see me not mark it all the time because a lot of the time we're kind of mindful of where it's already at or it's lining up with another level. But I thought it was interesting how we went up all the way to kind of in the middle of this area and then stopped. And now we're just sitting here. So it kind of feels like we have a little more gas in the tank to reach these levels up here or completely fill this gap. So I'm kind of keeping that scenario on watch, but I am not going to be surprised. In the last few days, people have already been listening to me talk about this. I'm kind of expecting a news event again to bring us down. Again, if you go to the news channels in the chat, I've already expressed my opinions on this and why I think that. And it's really just connected to actual news. Again, I don't really know, a whole lot about the world. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do. And a lot of people really like to pretend that they do, but never leave their houses. It's kind of crazy. So, but basically, we had a lot of data last week. We have a little bit of data this week, and earnings season is upon us. This is the perfect time for this kind of thing to happen. So that's why I'm looking at it like that. Also, U.S. and Iran, that's not over. There's still, here, let me read it out bar for bar so I don't try to change anything. U.S. and Iranian negotiation teams to return to Islamabad. I'm probably saying that wrong. For peace talks later this week. So we're still on the fence about what the fuck we're doing over there. The strait is not open. There's been a lot of people reporting that it's open, but it's not been open. So I'm on the fence about this latest pump. I think this pump is honestly a great thing for the market, but at the other end of it, I feel like this gets shorted in the short term. But I don't want to sit here and be like, guys, grab puts, every single day. That's not really what we should be doing. But I am a little cautious of this pump. On the other end of things, though, just to kind of hedge ourselves, just overall, we have been dollar cost averaging 4 different stocks on the way up. Recently, we had to stop buying one of them, Netflix, because it's kind of hit one of our spots where we're like, all right, we'll kind of chill if it goes above this. So I'm chilling for now on that, but yeah, that's kind of our update for the day, news and stuff. I would definitely be on the watch for if we pop pre-market high to see if that gap gets completed again and if we can make it to that 691.34, which again, still not all-time high, but just to kind of show everybody, this is the last lower high drawdown fib before all-time high. This is all-time high supply up here. So it's not like we're that far. And I'm sure a lot of you have already noticed too. We're not on. There we go. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed too, like there's a lot of big boys that are down a lot in comparison to the fact that SPY is really not down that much. This is a big conversation I had with everybody about small caps. I was talking about how when the market's struggling, when a lot of the big boys are down, a lot of people are, I'm not even going to say a lot of people, but money moves into small caps. And this has been popping off. And you can see on this chart too, look how close it is to all-time high again. So it's also not far off. You go to some of your big weights and you're like, what the hell? This is nowhere. Well, not Intel. You go to some of these weights and you're like, what the hell? None of these are near all-time high, or some of these are so close to the recent lows and stuff like that, So I would definitely keep some of these ones that are like really, really far down on watch. Like I was talking about Visa yesterday and Adobe. These are two that I talked about just for like quick looks that we were looking at. Damn, actually, we should have swung Adobe. That's going to open at 242. I mainly like this because it closed over the 8 and it has room to the 21, which kind of lines up with price action. Kind of feels like it should go bump its head against. Yep, that's what I went to do. It feels like it should bump its head against about like right here. So another $2 move wouldn't surprise me on this. That's a $4 move. And then I think I posted AMD in chat today for the inside bar potential because I just thought that was cool. It was an inside bar in AMD. So definitely check that one out. Yeah, I'm gonna go to SPY. And then, of course, anybody paying attention to my sector updates, this past week, we talked about the potential of if we hold on to this area, we'll probably go smack our head against this area. We ended up doing that over the course of 2 days. And really, you could just say one day because you could see, low to the high right here, just completely smack that area. So it was good that we were bullish. And just so we're all clear, I have been telling everybody in my chat that we're more bullish on XLK now since this day happened because this is a magnificent candle. To get two, almost two, it's not a perfect outside bar, but to get two engulfings, two outside bars like that after a single soldier candle is pretty fucking disgusting. I mean, that's like bullish candlestick, bullish candlestick, bullish candlestick. It's like screaming at you. It just feels a little weird. On the other end of things too, also just kind of a little cautious of this move up because we are kind of near the. If you look over here, we have this area, and then we have all-time high, lower high. So you can see tech's really not that far from all-time high either. It's a mere few levels away. So also keeping that on watch mainly because again, if you go to your SPY chart, if you go to Triple Q, if you go to IWM, which again it's smaller on IWM just because of how that is like worked out, but SPY and Triple Q, it is the majority of both. So it's just kind of nice to have a tab on this chart here so you can have a feel for the majority of the market. I wouldn't say this single-handedly runs the market every second of every day, but it definitely is close. A lot of people always like to look for like a perfect opposite indicator to watch things, but honestly, you just need to watch the sectors and you'll have a better idea of what everything as a whole is trying to do. Even if you're not trading SPY, I really hate too when people are like, "Well, I don't trade SPY as heavy as you guys, so I don't need to look at sectors like that." Yes, you fucking do. Everything is connected to those sectors. If you're trading something, it's most likely a competitor to something in those sectors. If you're trading something, it's most likely related to something in those sectors. And you can ask anybody in my chat if somebody's like, "Hey man, I think I'm trading Amazon today." What is my first response to that person every time? Hey, make sure you watch XLY. I always go to telling them to worry about the sector that they're trading because that is what's important as well. It doesn't hurt to look at. If anything, it probably gives you a better intuition on where price is trying to go. Make sure to share the stream link around, guys, and drop a like on the stream. I don't know what the hell I was about to say. Hope you guys are enjoying the update so far. A little bit of a briefing update this morning as well with some of the news. Good morning, VC. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, and Matty Ice, I've been talking about that very heavily as well with everybody. I know you've been kind of busy, but I've been telling everybody. Yesterday we did like a little small quiz thing, and I think only Garden got it right, or I don't remember who got it. But I was like, guys, what does this mean? Now that we saw Goldman Sachs have earnings, when banks have earnings, that's kicking off earnings season. Banks are always first. Which I'm really more worried about just like bank stocks and then tech stocks and then probably a few staple stocks here and there. I really don't care about every single earnings, but it's just important to point out that there is more catalysts coming that are just annual. We're going to be getting, seasonal updates from each company. So it is going to most likely move the market a little. We'll see. Then you throw on the Iran Trump situation as well. Oil, all that good stuff. Down here on the bottom left, guys, there are sectors. As you can see, that's about the pre-market high, so no change to that. You can see tech is opening up around resistance, so keep an eye on these two levels here for me, please. Everybody keep an eye on 147 to 147.40. XLK. I'm just updating everybody in Discord as well for XLK. 147 to 147.40. I said this is a big cheat code today. Watch for the direction from this area. I don't know what the hell I was about to say. Also good to just keep a watch on these sectors in general, like I said already, in the pre-market. No change. Pre-market high is just right there. There was no change right before, so we're all good on that. If it does end up just pulling back, I kind of want to see what it does to this area. Not only is this a drawdown fib from the larger time frame, there's the previous day close right there. And I believe pre-market low is like right here somewhere. So I don't think I marked it just because it is literally right there already. And again, I really do believe in that. If there's already a level there, I just don't bother adding it again if there's something else there as well. Good morning, VC. Good to see you, boss. Have a good day, everyone. Hope you make bank. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you, bro. Good morning, Rigney. Good to see you. I'm just sorry, checking YouTube chat a little late. Good morning to anybody who's just joined in. Good morning, good morning. If you guys want like a quick little morning update for everything, go back to the beginning of the stream. It's like right after I changed the screen from stream starting soon or whatever. I've already done my 1,000 words for the day. Joking, of course. No, it is crazy. That's why I'm always like scared to start stream earlier than like the open because I know I'm gonna just sit here and talk. And I don't want to like talk too much before the market really starts moving. Also keeping my eye on the AMD chart. They exited the inside bar for a second, smacked the drawdown fib level, closing back under this level. The AMD is stupidly bearish under this level right here. Actually, they're dumping. What the hell's happening to this chart? Is Nvidia doing that? No. Okay, there had to have been something with semi news or something. Like, what the hell is that? I was also stupidly bullish on coin in the lifetime chat. I'm very happy to see that finally start moving up. Actually, I'm glad I reminded myself out loud because I've actually been really bad at reminding myself to update in there. Oh, wait, that was the chart. I already fucked up all my charts. Just realized. All right. Which I probably should try to find something in between here before we actually start moving up more, if that happens. I really feel like we're going to top out somewhere in between here, but I want to be prepared in case we do move up a little bit more. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh my god, end of the world. I do think this pump is about to get shorted the fuck out of around this area. I don't know if I'd say, yeah, start shorting from here. I'd probably wait for an actual visual signal to appear. If you're someone who's going to your Twitter feed to get your bias, just leave my stream right now. Please. We don't need you here. All right, let's see. Were we right on Adobe? So far, we were right. See if that continues. I'm more back testing these two because I don't. Oh my fucking god! I literally called it. Bro, I typed this signal out and then I was like, nah, you know, I don't need to be doing that. It fucking hit target. Well, it looks like we would have been fine no matter what we did. Again, just kind of back testing these two because I hesitated to enter on them yesterday for swings. I just kind of wanted to see what the hell. Can't be mad though. Glad to see it still working out. Sometimes I do that too, and honestly, I don't know if you guys do the same thing. I feel like sometimes if I ever feel like I hesitated on something, I'll still like mentally trade it just to kind of like squeeze out that hesitation, if that makes sense. So if I see it like work out intended, or I see it go hit a stop loss, I'll cut it in my head, or I'll be like, yeah, I just hit my target, bet I'm out. It looks like no matter what I was going to get into, we would have been fine, though. I think I was just hesitant because of the end of day pump, honestly. Because I had that shit posted, and then this started happening, and I was like, eh. It kind of felt like we hit our bullish target kind of like feeling, you know what I mean? But if you go look at some of those larger time frames, there are so many big boys. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, there are so many big weights that are just down, like crazy down. I've been screaming buy Netflix since like whatever it went down to, like 80 something, 75. I've been screaming buy this shit since down here, and I will stand on business. I don't care if it goes down again. I hope it comes down again so other people in chat can buy it. But I think it's fucking criminal that we saw this go below 90 at all. Right? Going down to here, sure, I get it. You know, some news, whatever, earnings season. But this was the perfect little liquidity grab I've ever seen on a daily time frame. It pops below the big major support, gets back into it within a couple weeks, really not even that long. Closing back over it, holding inside of it, pushing outside of it again. Like, pretty awesome, not gonna lie. I really hope some people in my chat paid attention to that because I've been screaming for that to go up. This is why I like UPS a lot. I've been doing dollar cost averaging, which is basically just throwing in a little bit of money here and there every other week, every other, whenever you get the chance, really. It's good to schedule like an actual amount. But yeah, so instead of setting yourself to own it at exactly one average, it's kind of cool to smooth it out over time. But we really like to do that when it goes down to certain areas that we like, because we don't want to try to sit there and try to guess or hesitate or anything when you're getting into a shares position. So you want to actually sit there and just kind of sprinkle it in a little bit over time. But yeah, that's another one I like too. There's a lot actually that I like on here. But the main four I'm doing are UPS, Netflix, and then PayPal, of course. I really like PayPal a lot as long as it's under like 60, but I think I'll probably lower that to like 55 because it is just kind of down here. And then the last one is Sophie. I really like Sophie a lot. I've been screaming buy on Sophie in my chat and the streams for a while now. I do not like this over like 20 though. I'll be honest. Anything over 20 and I'm probably done buying more shares. So it's like a couple months of dollar cost averaging and then seeing what it does from there. A lot of the time, that first move will do really good and then it will return to this area. If it continues from there and you don't get to increase your position, it's not really it's like a good complaint, if I'm being honest. Oh no, I didn't buy 100 shares. I only bought 50. It's like rich people problems. It's like it's really not a complaint. Oh, we didn't do what I said I was gonna do. I wanted to put a level in between here without making shit up. I really like this high right here, but the more I look left, the more I'm like, but I kind of like this open right here. It lines up with this close, this open, the low of the all-time high candle, and it kind of is the resistance of that right there. So I think I'm going to leave that one up. That is probably the most random level I'll ever throw up on my screen, but fuck it. Another cool thing you could do without cheating, I say this is cheating, is going from one level to the next. So if you go from this one to this one with a FIP, all right, I'm just done. I'm gonna quit talking. Somebody needs to clip that in YouTube stream. Somebody needs to clip that. That was not planned. I didn't preemptively. I didn't once even think about this until this morning because I saw how large of an area we had. But someone needs to clip that. I was about to explain another way you could get it, and it literally lines up with the level that I literally just drew on my screen, like to the cent type shit, to the 24 cent. Bro, who the fuck saw that in stream? So speak up right now if you saw that. By the way, we're pushing over pre-market high since the second 5-minute candle. The third 5-minute candle is currently over and still pushing a new high. We'll see if that continues. Like we said, we kind of want to see if it goes and smacks its head against this area here. If we're visualizing it, kind of between that drawdown fib and the top of this gap right here from about February 24th to February 25th, I think it is. It might be a day or two off. Bro, who just saw that shit? Bro, that might be the craziest charting thing I've done in a long time. That was nuts. As soon as I was like drawing it, I was like, fuck, is this going to be close? To the cent. That was crazy. Like, you know, when someone's in the chat, like someone new shows up and they're like, dude, your levels, they work like crazy. I've gotten kind of used to that feeling. But doing that was like, holy fuck. Like, because that's what I normally do. I normally just cheat and just like throw a 50% in between because I'm too lazy to go look for an actual, price action level. And then it was kind of funny. I wanted to throw one a little lower than this, and then I talked myself into charting this exact level. Then just to see where is that level, that's just I'm sorry. I re-explained that again, but that just blew my mind. I don't draw a whole lot of levels. I really do just draw like the same shit every time. I just like to redraw a lot because I don't know. I'm just weird. I like to reset, get it going again. I feel like it kind of gets me back into like what the chart's doing. Damn, bro. Visa and Adobe would have been bangers. I legit typed out, I don't even want to look, but I typed out the Visa next week 315 calls, I think. And then for Adobe, I don't really remember what strike I said. But that was our target. Look, it smacked it in 10 minutes. That's disgusting. And then Adobe, this was about my target. It's pretty much there. Not all the way there, but that end of day move, because I was looking back at it here, that end of day move and then into that move here is just crazy. It's a lot of good movement upwards. Like I said, there's a lot of big weights that have a lot of room above them. And as you know, big weights move the market. Just feels like we're pumping into news though. But like I said, it's probably more important to go off what we're actually seeing versus what we're feeling, but it's good to be mindful of your intuition a little bit. Probably you shouldn't hear your inner intuition and go, oh my God, I'm going to do this and then do it. You should just kind of be mindful of it. Like, imagine if I was so bearish that I was like, oh my God, wait, there's no way I can see this going up. Like, no, you've heard me all stream say, we're probably going to go smack our head against this at the very least, and then we'll see from here if it has more strength or not. Which I would like to point out, we're going up while tech is struggling. Just throwing that out there. We're mainly pumping because discretionary is on absolute fire, and healthcare is doing pretty good. And honestly, comms did pretty good this morning. And then we got the higher open from tech. If tech starts to pump here, you're going to see some fat ass green candles on SPY. If we start to reject this and these other ones start to follow, we'll probably see SPY pull back from this area right here, from the pre-market high, from this high of this gap from February. So keep that in mind. Don't just be bearish or bullish. Kind of have a condition with it. If this, then that. If that, then this. Don't just set yourself to one side. Yo, Rigney, you clipped it. Thank you. Let me see if you got it correctly. You didn't clip it correctly. Actually, I guess that's a good clip because I kind of explain it like right after it. I'll probably go back and clip it again so I can see the before. I really wanted the before part where I'm like just sitting there like charting it and then I go back to that level because that was pretty crazy. But that also got the same idea. Thank you though. That gives me a good timestamp if I do go back and cut that. So that's pretty fucking cool. Good morning and happy Tuesday. What's up, Sand Dollar? Healthcare is spicy at the moment. It is indeed. Or it was. Above 150 on healthcare, we cook. Yeah, I really like it on this 148. I think this is a drawdown fib. Oh, no, it's not. This is the gap right here. And then this is the 50% of that gap. But we got a good bounce on that gap, and we're trying to push that. So I kind of want to see it just sit between this for a day or two. But if it closes over this, I have to assume it's trying to pump to 151, or at least this high right here, like around this high somewhere, which is about 150. Yeah, healthcare is not looking too bad on the larger time frame. I'm a little worried for tech, which is the heaviest sector by a mile. I mean, it's literally 3 times the size of the next largest sector. Just because it's opening into a resistance. I'm not even necessarily bearish because of anything else. It's just we're at resistance. If this doesn't go up, SPY cannot go up as much as people think. I mean, you would need a generational run from multiple sectors at once, and there's really only 2 sectors doing that right now. Comms and discretionary, which honestly are 2 of the sectors you probably want to see it do that, but it really is. This dictates momentum. If this starts to pick up and join the fight, I don't see why SPY won't pump more. If this is still going to just kind of sit here and struggle, not necessarily go up, and the rest of these finally give up, I don't see why SPY isn't going to come down. Right now, you're just seeing a really big push and pull because there's a lot of sectors going up. Well, tech isn't, and it's allowing SPY to go up because tech's not just dumping through the floor. It's not like it's hurting anything. It's just not going up, if that makes sense. So you have like your largest piece of the pie not really helping. I just wanted to make that make sense because it really does help you visualize the SPY chart a lot better, or just whatever chart you're looking at. Like if you're looking at a weight of one of those sectors I just mentioned, it'll make things make a lot more sense. You'll be like, oh, that's why this pumped more. Oh, that's why this is struggling. Because I promise you, there's some people like tripping balls right now going, dude, why isn't this moving, dude? SPY's going up. What the fuck? It's like, dude, there's multiple sectors in SPY. Not every sector is going up at the same time. Appreciate you. UNH, please chill him on my first cup of coffee. Tech went under up a buck. They're at 0.88 right now on net change. It's kind of crazy too because these 3 are doing really well together right now. Healthcare, discretionary, and comms are all doing really well this morning. It's this MFer that won't help out. Which is crazy because if you guys have ever been in my streams, I never say that about this. This is normally the one that needs help from other ones. It's the other way around right now, though. Though it's not really hurting. It's not like it's dumping through the floor. You know, I feel like when this is trying to go up and we look at these other ones, they're like dumping. It's like, okay, never mind. Never mind. SPY can't have a whole candle day. Never mind. Sorry. Still laughing at Alex's message. Still looking to see which one gives up and which one helps out. It's starting to feel more and more like tech's going to catch up to these two pumping up. But I don't want to sit here and go off a feeling. If comms break 115.60s at the same time as discretionary breaking 115.40s, and this is still rejecting this, we will probably see a dip down on SPY. From about where I said we should probably go up to probably this area here. This is a drawdown fib. Actually, the last drawdown fib before all-time high. And then this right here is pre-market high. This right here is the top of a gap from Feb 24 to Feb 25th, I think, or Feb 25th to 26. I honestly might be off on the dates, but end of February. You get what I'm saying. So I have this X here because this is kind of where it feels like we were pumping into. So I want to see if there's any rejections of this, and if I'm wrong, we end up holding over this, then it probably is trying to go higher up to 694s. So I'm not completely a bear, but I'm like a long-term bull when it comes to shares. Like, I think anyone who's been dollar cost averaging things these past few weeks is a genius. But I think I don't like to sit here and be like, yep, we're going to go up all week. It's just like, brother, where are you getting this from? Like, there is no strategy that tells you where price is going to close 4 days from now. Maybe you get a good guess. Sure. But that's all it's ever going to be. I just don't like to play the I want to be right guy. It's just, you can literally play both sides and be right all the time. It's not that big of a deal. As long as you keep your losses a lot smaller, you have like an actual condition for, hey, I'm wrong. Let me get out of this before damage is done. That's fine. But I think this like guessing bullshit just to look correct in front of other people is honestly getting kind of old. I only say that because I know it's really easy for anyone in here to go to social media and it just looks like everybody knows what they're talking about. So my bad, guys. I was reacting to something in Discord. What are you guys up to in the stream? What's everyone looking at? If you guys are in here, share the stream link around. Drop a like on the stream. Feel free to engage if you can. If you're not busy at work or if you're not busy with your kids or whatever you're doing, feel free to let us know what you're looking at or what's on your mind. I've already yapped about what's on my mind. If I need to repeat, feel free to just let me know if you're just now tuning in or you were late or you had me muted for some reason. You're avoiding work? Mad respect. Mad respect. W. Carter. I saw. Oh, you did say it. I didn't see it. Damn, I missed a few messages actually. I didn't even see this message from Risen. He talked about Bull as well. Yeah, I like Bull. I'll hold that no matter how much I'm down. You have an 83 average on Netflix? That's such a big dick energy message. Good stuff, dude. I was kind of curious what averages people had in chat, but I didn't really want to ask all that because that's like kind of cringe. I don't really like to pressure people, and on the other side of that coin, I just think it's kind of weird to ask someone what's their average on something. It's like, yo, hey man, what are you exactly in at? Like just for like curiosity purposes, man. Just let me know, what are you in exactly, and how many shares do you have at that exact price, bro? Like, I'd rather hear your reasoning for why you like it or don't like it than me be like, hey, what's your average, bro? I mean, it's cool if someone shares that. I'm not. Feel free to share whatever the fuck you want. But anybody who's asking you for your average on something is probably not actually trading, or they're begging to God that you give them some sort of out on a good trade. They're praying to the skies. I mean, you guys hear me. I share my reasoning. I'll share why I like something, the parameters, the areas that I like and don't like for buying and not buying. Like, I have it all set up. That do you know why I have it like that? It's not to look smart or look professional. It's because, like, I like to have something set in stone. Imagine 3 months go by and I sit there and I change everything. I'm like, well, actually, I think I'm gonna buy up here now, and then it dips, and I'm mad that I have a higher average now. It's like, well, that's my fault. That's not the strategy's fault. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They're so easy to be like, well, damn, I need a better strategy. Let me try again. Dude, your strategy's probably fine. You just aren't patient enough. Just got an SOLS. I'm not familiar with that. What is that? Is that crypto or is that actually a stock? My dad had my dad has $78 bought day before the news when it launched to 90s. Oh, on Netflix? Fucking legend. Yeah, I think Netflix is a great fucking thing to have under 100. I think it's crazy how many people passed up on that just because of their general bias of things. Like, I'm not joking you. Step out of the seat of an investor. Like, go look at like a messaging board about a stock you've never owned or have never thought about owning, but you think is a big popular company. Like, let's say you've never owned Tesla. Go read about what people think about Tesla or Netflix or PayPal. Like, you'll see like there's an overall like negative bias for these companies, which is honestly, in my opinion, a great reason to like it even more. Because honestly, the consumer has no idea what they want. And I promise you, the happy consumers aren't going to a messaging board and crying about why they like or don't like a company. Like, I promise you, like, competent, at peace human beings are not on these messaging boards. 99% of the messages you read online are from like some chaotic individual, someone who's most likely not at peace. Now, I leave a little room for error there because there probably is some people out there who just love sharing what they're doing, and that's fine. But they are the minority. It's a stock. I don't trade crypto. Okay, but I was just asking. I'll go take a look. I didn't want to get trolled and type it in and be like, what the hell? XLB, nice. Honestly, I don't know what I'm looking at, but that chart looks so crazy. What is this? They do refrigerants and applied solutions for what? Everything? Everything electrical and they're in multiple sectors. Holy shit. This sounds like something out of a show I've seen. This segment provides sputtering targets, lightweight, high strength fibers. That sounds like something I've seen in that one show on Netflix. What is that shit called? Three Moon Stot? No, what the fuck was it? Netflix shows with number 3 in it. Three Body Problem. That's what it reminded me of. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. What is this, though? I'll go back to Spy real quick, guys. I at least wanted to give Lulu Simpson a little bit of a look at this. Remember, we're kind of looking to see if this tops out around here somewhere. As soon as I see a high stop, a high stop and then come down, similar to this actually. I want to see like from here, like does it reject this? Now this isn't really a great example because this didn't even break the 50% of this candle. So I'm kind of looking for something to break that first. And if that happens, then I'll draw that fib. But until then, I can't really be like, yeah, guys, short. Oh, nice, Carter. Let me see what she's tagged me in. God, that's so crazy seeing your chart like that. And I promise you, go to the messaging boards and look at Netflix like messaging boards at that date. Even when that MFR was at 89 a share, there were probably people going, "This is going down to 40. This is going down to 20. This is going down to 10." Bro, 99% of people online type the dumbest shit. At this point, I go to read them for the comedy of it because it's just like insane what some people say. Bro, I saw people calling for the death of Spy, saying that we would see. This was a stupidly popular opinion too, and I haven't seen anybody say it since. But I have seen so many people. I'm trying to find it because it's actually so far down. It makes no sense. I'm going off the weekly because I can't find it. Somebody was saying that we'll probably see this candle get tested when we were like doing all this. It's like, what the fuck are you smoking? There were people saying like 550, 600. Like, what? Don't get me wrong. I thought we were going to go down to like 620, 610. But that was when we were like, I'm a week by week guy. I think it's insane to sit here like right here and be like, yeah, we're gonna go to 900 from here. That's fucking crazy too. Like, so I'm just trying to emphasize like, don't take what you guys read online seriously because it's fucking crazy. Some of the things people say. That was something very popular. I saw said though is that we were going into the 500s, below 600 for Spy. It's like, well, of course you think that. We're going down and there's nothing but bad news. Of course you think that. Like, but that's just not happening. It's not feasible. We're not going down to 540 or whatever the fuck I was looking at. All right, Solstice Advanced Materials. I forgot. I'm researching this for a second because I don't really know what to do. It's a spinoff of Honeywell's specialty materials business. So they're similar to Honeywell. It is a spinoff of Honeywell International. The separation was officially completed. Oh, okay, so they literally were a part of Honeywell. Refrigerants and electronics and advanced materials. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So at least I understand it does relate to Honeywell because apparently Honeywell is still the parent company. Hmm. Well, that's good to know. Peep post charts, XOK testing now. Oh, I saw that one, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to see our charts like that because I cannot tell you how much hate I saw for Netflix when it was below 90 a share. It's like I couldn't tell you how happy I was reading those kinds of messages because it's like yes, 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 keep the sentiment down. The opposite side of that coin was like bull because I know there's people like me in chat who are trapped in bull and just like stuck in it because they actually believe in it. Like I actually think bull's gonna come back up, but I just think it's gonna take forever. But that was like the opposite. It felt like an overcrowded trade. Like everyone was bullish on it. So that one was like, there's no way this can go up. And that one sucked. That actually sucked because it was going into the 10s, the 12s, and it kind of felt like it was going to move higher. And then I don't know. You just look at the volume and you go look at how everyone was talking about it. And it's like, dude, I think everybody's buying this. I think everybody was buying bull at one point. One, because people know what Weeble is. Two, similar to Robinhood. Two, because the ticker itself is literally just bull. Like, bro, there were probably so many morons who were just buying that just strictly off of the name of the ticker. And you would be impressed how many times that happens. I'm sure some of you have heard stories of like tickers being similar and people buying the wrong one. That happens all the time. Yeah, SPY to $0 into Veer. Yeah, 100%. 540. Yeah, I know, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind people doing predictions, but bro, like, half the fucking internet was like, dude, we're going down below 600 easily, bro. Thank me later. Like, such cocky ass messages, too. Like, thank me later, man. Thank me when you shorted it to 600. And there's the other side of the coin on that, too. Like, people who are, people who keep saying, like, oh, dude, we're going to see fucking 900 before the end of the year. We're going to see 800. Like, that's also a little crazy. Exactly. You would need, like, something a lot larger for 540. I'm not saying 540 could never in this world ever be seen. I'm saying with what was given, no, there was no way. Credit's not unwinding yet. I get if someone dropped a nuke. Regardless, the infrastructure damage done in the ME is going to cause pain down the road. Yeah, probably. All right, we did get a new high. Again, we're kind of mindful of, like, yeah, we're probably going to slow down soon, but again, if you paid attention to what I said, we're kind of watching the 50% of this candle because this is like the last like emerging candle, if that makes sense. Looking for a break of that, and then I want to draw the drawdown fib of that move that breaks that, and then of that I want to catch the lower high. If not, then it's just going to keep pumping. Which there is still room for that. They still have room up to the next level. And if they push above that level and tech is still holding, I don't know why this won't go up. I guess we should probably draw that 50%, huh, Carter? Yeah, this is a legit cheat code chart. Legit cheat code. Thanks for reminding me, actually. I'd like to point out literally every main sector is green or making a new high right now as well. Like, everything looks great. All they need is XOK. And then SPY can have a really large green move here. And no short-term trigger to draw the drawdown fib yet. It's about like right here or something for that fib. Didn't break yet. Should I remove this X? Is this annoying anybody? I just kind of have it there as like an area that I thought price would go towards today. Just because we got the higher open, so not a bad start for them. If they push pre-market high, there's a good chance they could push into the top of the gap of into February, as well as the drawdown fib from 691.34. Which, this one's important. This is the last drawdown lower high fib from all-time high. So technically, this is where the last real lower highs were calculated to be made from when we started falling before. And yeah, guys, I'm not trying to scare any of you out of being bearish or bullish. You'll hear me go over what I think and what I think it can do based on something. You're never going to hear me go, this should go up. And there'd be no explanation beyond that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to scare anybody. Like right here, you probably heard me going over it. I wanted to be bearish a little early, but I know that there's a trigger that needs to happen first. It needs to break the 50% of this candle. I never really got that, so can't really flip the trigger to be bearish yet, just because we're at resistance. And that's important, not just hitting resistance, but hitting resistance and having a trigger that says, hey, okay, we are actually pulling back from that, not just guessing. Good looks, Carter. People were out of their minds, called for $80 XLE. $80 on XLE? Huh? I mean, don't get me wrong. I have this like big ass channel mark from the weekly, and like I thought it was super bullish. Like, if you ever heard me talk about this, I was super bullish, but I don't think I ever muttered the number 80 out of my mouth. I was saying this whole pump, I was like, this is insane. And we only got to 63. 80? That's fucking crazy. 80 is like, you should go to jail for having an opinion like that. Not even just from a stock market point of view, like from a consumer point of view, fuck you for having that opinion. Not you, but whoever thought that. It has transformed my trading. Come on. I just like it because it's a nice way to know when you're right and when you're wrong without like being too emotionally invested. Because like we all want to be right, but it kind of sucks when you're wrong and you don't even understand how you were wrong, like because you thought your trade was so good. So it's kind of nice to look at something and like see it kind of fail and be like, all right, well I know why I failed, instead of going, damn, I failed, fuck, I hate this, scam, market maker, Trump, Iran. Instead, you're like, oh, I lost this because it broke the 50% of this and it's switching. Possible lower high being made, that kind of thing. Like you're able to switch with the actual reasoning. We did look at BSX, but it was probably from one of you asking me to look at it. I would never take claim to, yeah, guys, did y'all catch my BSX call out? But yeah, we did look at Boston Scientific. I do remember looking at them. I think I even looked at them yesterday in stream because they popped up on my scanner. I just wasn't too familiar with them, so I just wasn't too keen on it. But they do have earnings soon, so they could get a good a good move into earnings. Not a bad look. Another new high of day. Let's see if we can make it to the drawdown fib. We've already finished the gap from February. I'm already impressed. Can we make it to the drawdown fib? And remember, even though we kind of felt like we were a little bit more bearish than bullish around this area, we did have something telling us, hey, don't switch yet. So that is something cool that happened today. That's about it, though. We're also waiting to see if tech continues to bounce, because if this continues to go up, I don't see why we shouldn't see a pump on SPY again, just because every other sector is kicking it. Excuse me, every other sector is kicking ass, as you can see. Healthcare is doing it right now. They can get help from the large one. Tech, 33% of the market. I don't see why SPY won't pump more. So kind of using tech as like a like a foot pedal, I guess, like a gas pedal on your car. As long as this is going up, I don't see why this isn't going up. And then you have like nitrous. These are like altogether nitrous. If these are helping, then it just kind of further increases, oh shit, we're getting some green candles on SPY thanks to tech. But today we got the opposite. These were all doing good, and then tech started helping. So that's kind of funny. Slow but surely happened, and it only was possible to be a little confident in that just because, again, flipping through your sectors, which I'm glad we remembered to do today. Shout out to Carter. I'm sure the powers that be would love another pandemic-style crush of the average Joe. I know you're good, Alex. Feel free to share whatever's on the watch list. We did go over that. I don't remember what I said, though. I'd be lying if I was like, yeah, bro, I said pump. I definitely don't remember. The complaining about shit you can't control kills me. Yeah, literally. I mean, to be fair, it is human to do that. It's very human to complain about things we have no control over. But yeah, I feel you. I'm excited for XLV, but mainly because for you, Alex, I don't have any skin in the game on healthcare, but I am happy for you because I know yesterday you were like, I think healthcare is going to start going up more. Look at the next day. Remember though, I liked it as long as it kept holding this gap, so it was nice to see it open there and break it and hold it. That's important. Impressive that it's not just testing this; it's breaking over it. Remember, if it does continue, you're kind of looking for it to go between this high and the open of this candle. Impressive that it's trying to do that all in one day. So I would keep that on watch, this area here. It did a lot of damage already. I'm not trying to like monger you into like, oh my god, it can't go anymore, but that is already impressive. And SPY is near the target for the day that I gave everybody. I'm gonna let people know, hey, target's kind of hit for the day. I don't want to fear people out though. All right, sorry guys, I was typing a bunch. I said spy target for the day just hit between the gap and the drawdown fib level. Insane start to the day. Something that kept us more bullish than bearish. Bias was the higher open. No break of the third 5-minute candle, 50%, which could have triggered watching for lower highs. And now the target area has hit after these few signs to help us see why and not just feel it. Shared a picture of the sectors, said all sectors were all green. Didn't pump it first because XLK needed to test the 50% of the gap first. And then I said the pump could be even more crazy if tech actually broke over the key area. Instead, it just dropped to bounce back up while most major sectors were pumping. So just kind of pointing out this could go up more as long as this pushes this and actually gets over this area. But it really is kind of, this is like our foot pedal for the day. I would like to point out this is still under the CDO. But yeah, banks hit a good top of an area, which is kind of impressive. Comms are still pumping. Discretionary is still pumping. Healthcare just finished pumping more. So it's still very bullish. It could be a lot more bullish if tech actually was part of the fight. And now it feels like tech could pump and some of these might slow down if they reach their targets. It's about to be bad timing twice. but it's still a lot more bullish than bearish. I would like to point that out. I know I'm constantly pointing out both sides of the story to kind of make sense of it all, but we really are seeing a lot of really good movement these past 2 days. Fantastic open on mini NASDAQ. Yeah. Played mini NASDAQ. Nice, Carter. I'm out here for now. XOK back at CDO. Anything can happen. Good looks, bro. I'm glad you know that too, because it's like it went back to a reset point. Like if it gets over it, yeah, it is more bullish than bearish, no shit. But the fact that you already played something and you got the bounce to that level, it's just like it's chef's kiss. OB on 5-minute candle XOK. Good looks, Rigney. Make sure to keep that updating that if you're going to be here for a little. That's funny. People already calling a bottom on VIX might be a little early. What? Why are people trying to call a bottom on VIX? Do they not realize what this is? Huh? I'm sorry, bro. If you hear someone trying to call tops and bottoms on VIX, y'all need to quit following that person. This is a gauge. This is not something you call tops and bottoms on. This is something you gauge with. This is like as equal to a sector. You wouldn't use, like, you wouldn't look at XLK and just because there's a green candle on XLK, like down here, you wouldn't be like, that's the bottom. Because you know there's a lot more to it. It's the same thing with VIX. Like, yeah, you're getting a good gauge, but you shouldn't be trying to call tops and bottoms on this. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying that's crazy that people are calling tops and bottoms on this, or trying to at least. I used to have an actual chart for this. I haven't done it in forever because it's just kind of cringe, but I used to have actual like gauges for VIX and VXX, but I don't even look at them anymore. I think it's cool to look at VIX from a historical point of view. Like if you go back and you look at everything on here, and you go to each spike and you just kind of like Google search and just go like, all right, on October 28th of 1997, what happened? Go Google it, look it up. Like, I think that's cool to research the different news events because there should be a news event near the top of each spike. Because, like, you know, no shit. But I think that's cool. I don't mind when people do that. But I think it's crazy to sit here and be like, yeah, man, I'm watching this demand on VIX. I got the supply drawn here on VIX. Gonna short from VIX, go long once it gets down here. Or I guess it'd be opposite because you're watching VIX. But still, it's just like, that's crazy work. Anybody who's looking at this as like a gauge, that's fine. Oh, it's cooling off. Volatility is cooling off. You know, that's something you could say, but it's bottoming here is pretty crazy to me. I don't really know how else to put that without being too rude, to be honest. Because we should be rude to people who talk like that. But let's be nice. We could coexist. This is a rich session. What's up, Tobias? Did you see what I said in chat the other day about your channel? I gotta go find it. It was a good joke. I wasn't being serious. Yeah, here it is. They were all talking about your channel and like glazing you and like saying how like cool you are and stuff. So I came in here and I was like, I muted that tinfoil hat channel. I don't know if you saw that or not. This guy's the biggest Ackman glazer I've ever seen, dude. This guy actually goes over cool shit, though. Y'all really do need to read this channel. I read this every single weekend. Like, if I go to the couch and I'm playing with my dog and I get bored and I start reading my phone, I just go to Discord and I read Tobias' channel. He is European and he goes over macroeconomics as well as basically everything. It would be stupid to sit here and be like, he just does this or that. He really does a bit of everything, so I would check it out. He's a bit of an actual nerd. Like, some people think I'm smart, but I'm not smart. He's smart. I'm just a guy who has charts. But Tobias, he's smart. That's what you should do. You don't have to be smart. Just surround yourself with people that you think are smart. No, not glazing you. Oh yeah, I guess glazing you a little bit. They were talking about your channel. And then I went in there to, just like humble. I have that channel muted. And then you can see I clearly have it muted, but I have every channel muted. I just go and I click on them whenever I have time to like actually read what I want to read. Which I recommend everybody doing. You should just mute everything and then unmute like levels and swings and then like just go check on things as you see fit. Unless you just genuinely suck at remembering things and you forget to go check other stuff, then maybe don't do that. There are people in chat that do that as well. They mute everything and they're like, what the fuck? I didn't see that get posted. It's like, dude, you have my channel muted. Or, dude, you have Trade Floor muted. It's like, no shit, you missed it. But I do recommend muting some channels because you don't need to be pinged and stuff from every direction. That does get annoying. Not that my chat does that a whole lot, but I know how it feels. Imagine you're having a bad day and you check Discord and some random dude's pinging you 32 times. Oh my god. See, I think about y'all a little. Just a little. Are we going to pump more? I guess we'll know from XLK. Good looks, Rigney. Yeah, it's at the open. I know your message is coming in like a second after I'm saying that, or before I'm saying that. I just muted Discord and the rest of my apps on my phone. If you need me, you can call. Even if my email is just an AI agent that calls me when I need to read that shit. Y'all should also have this setting on Discord where people have to add you to message you. I have that shit on. It's been nice. I know some people don't mind getting spammed because some of you like I'll call out somebody in chat. Chaos or Seth loves trolling people who are like fake Buellers that message him. I mean, he has like full on conversations trolling these people. Like he showed me one where he pissed off the guy. Actually, I need to show that. Seth, are you in here? Can I show that to them? That shit was actually hilarious. I mean, I don't want people doing this, but like this was pretty hilarious. And we talked a lot since this. I can't find it. Oh, here it is. All right, I'm gonna show this on stream because this shit's funny. All right, so this is Seth, and messaging a fake Bueller, or a fake Bueller messaged him, and this guy's like sending him all these things, and just read his replies. Seth's replies are the main thing. So this guy's like trying to spam him with like screenshots and all kinds of shit, and like whatever, you know. Join my wait. What does he even say though? I don't even use the 200 estimate, but good work. It'll be news that negotiations are falling apart or deteriorating. You can join my private server to earn like this too. Jesus Christ. So Seth goes, oh, for sure. He says, what is your deal? Nothing, man. Pump to trade. What is your portfolio? What the fuck? 315 contracts? That's not sus at all. Some light Tesla work today. Hope my analysis helped. 237K for team. What? Just really focused on AI, is what Seth says. And he shows him this screenshot. He says, yeah, I went through what you're saying. It shows me a lot. You're pretty much locked into one lane right now. Nothing wrong with that if it's working. But when you said your apartment, this guy's like actually replying back to him. Bro, if you have the energy to do this, why not just make your own community like I did? Testimonial still coming today from the group. Jesus Christ. Dude, and I don't talk like this. Did you understand the assignment? I did. I didn't. What the fuck? It's like a pretty in-depth scam. But look how much typing this guy's having to do, and like, it's crazy. And then Seth goes, oh, like, he's just throwing in random answers to piss this guy off. And he goes, pardon? And he goes, nice, with an exclamation point. You sound weird. This is where it gets hilarious. You sound weird. Considering your answers are veering away from the conversation we are having. Brother, nobody's having a conversation with you. You just started spamming him. Oh, right. Would it help if I showed you how to train with my strategy? I have a 21% win rate, so pretty top notch. Okay, take the floor. You could really see how annoyed he's getting right here. He says, you sound weird, considering your answers are veering away from the conversation we are having. Bro, nobody talks like that. It's like it's somebody from a different country, like translating with something to like help give them some English, and they're like talking super professional because nobody speaks the way that person types. I'm just saying. That chat seems like AI. Yeah, it felt like he was talking to like AI, but you could definitely see there's some custom typing in there. Like someone is actually answering him, whether it's through the AI or not. Like, but yeah, Seth actually annoying someone like that is just fucking hilarious to me. If you actually know how to trade, they panic bad. It's funny. It's funny how like desperate that guy sounds. Cause he's like, follow my trades, do this, do that, and like it's funny because he's lying in those pictures too. Like even if those pictures are real, those trades are real. Like he was typing 237K for the team, and the screenshot showed he was up like 125K. It's like, brother, you're lying about that. Like that's just crazy to me. I don't know. That's just funny to me. But yeah, Seth does that, and that shit's so funny. I don't want everybody in chat doing that. I only don't mind Seth doing it because he's been in my chat for literally forever. So I know he knows, like, hey, that's not me. I don't have to worry about him like accidentally getting fooled. But like, I don't. People in chat need to know, like, I do not message literally anyone in chat unless you're messaging me. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Someone messages me, they add me and shit. Cool. They want to talk about something they're going through or whatever they're looking at. Cool. But like, I really don't do DM stuff a lot. A lot of it's in the chat. It's just very weird that people want to bring it to DM so much. That's a big reason I want people to post in chat as well. It's because like, keep it all out here, and you don't have to worry about talking to a fake Bueller or a fake Bueller bias chat. Like, because there are full on chats too that try to pretend to be our chat, so it's a little weird. And we've met many people who thought, hey, I thought I was in the right Bueller's chat and I got scammed, and it's like I can't refund them. They didn't pay me, so I feel bad for them. But it's like, it is easy to not get scammed. But with some of the shit people pull today, it is honestly kind of hard for like older people and maybe even some younger people. Because there's full on Discord servers built to look like our server, and then people join it, and they're like, oh, hey, what's up? Which is crazy. The amount of bots lurking in Discords wanting to or waiting to friend request is wild. Yeah, it is honestly pretty bad. And the verification update got pushed back like big time. The one where they were gonna have us all like take pictures of our IDs and show our faces and shit to like verify your account, which I'm actually cool with it. But I wasn't cool with what came out of it when they were like, "Yeah, but we're gonna definitely share your information." Like that's not really cool. I wanted the face verification stuff, but I didn't want them to have to share all that. That's just weird. But what I was gonna say though, sorry, I kind of brain farted there. It'd be cool if they actually like did something to get rid of a lot of bot accounts. Because honestly, I don't mind giving all my like face verification shit away, like to a big company like Discord, if they're holding up their end of the bargain. Like I don't really mind. I honestly don't mind giving all my shit away, but I think what people don't like is when we're giving our shit away to people like Discord who aren't really that great at keeping all these bot accounts out. It's like I feel like there's a pretty easy program they could set up or AI they could use to, you know, learn the learn the habits of every Discord account and then pick up on the ones that are fake. It's like, come on, real people aren't adding and unadding and DMing 1,000 people per week. That's like that should be behavior that's just instantly flagged. That doesn't sound like a very hard thing to find in your own system. I'm not even a programmer or anything like that, but come on. Can Trump chill and privatize Freddie Mac would be glorious. If they weren't artificially propping up housing, HGX would be at 500 in my opinion. They want the soft landing narrative so badly. Spy rejecting what after level? Why are the messages coming in red? Like, y'all's times on y'all's messages are all jumbled everywhere. YouTube be weird today. And yeah, Spy did hit this level. Like I said, we're in the target area. I'm already kind of just chilling because I'm like, damn, it already happened. But I am kind of keeping my eye on this because Tech never went over today's open and pushed over and closed over anything. We just kind of went to it and rejected it. So we might get that other thing I said earlier where I said if these start to pull back and Tech starts to pull back, you might get that leg down back towards the levels that we pumped up from. And it'll feel like super bearish just because there's a bunch of red candles, but we're just right back where we started for the day. But I don't want to sit here and fear monger. I think it should settle up here for a little bit and consolidate. But if you see it exit the top of that gap and push under this higher low, it's probably going to pre-market high. It's probably going to current day open area. Need to go. Cheers, everyone. See you, Tobias. Thank you for coming in and tuning in, bro. I appreciate you. I have love for all my EU boys, all my EU traders. I've never understood besides like funny banter, US is better, EU is better. Like it's funny to joke around with, but I've literally never understood that. When people get serious about that, the US is better, the EU is better. It's like, brother, we're from the same planet. It's like, I don't know. I've never understood racism for that exact same reason either, because it's not like one of us came from Mars and one of us are here from Earth. Like, like we're all from the same fucking dirt. Like, come on. You wear different clothes. Your melanin's different, sure. You like different colors than I, sure. You like different foods than I, sure. But these are all preferences. These aren't like these aren't like things you can hold against somebody. Somebody fucks you over, you can hate them all you want. I give you permission, but you should not hate somebody. But besides that, like it's crazy work. You don't gotta love everyone either, but damn, people from Mars are better. Yeah, I heard they're really chill. That would be crazy that we go to Mars. There's like a whole civilization under the dirt. Damn, if we would have shorted MO, we would have also been fine. That was like my tertiary trade idea. It looks like we would have been fine no matter what we did. Let's see, what's Adobe doing? Bro, Bull is up 6% today? Holy shit. Damn, Adobe rejected instantly after that pump. What's up, Rigby? What you got going on today? I didn't send you a picture yet, but I'll just send you one now. What I did with that thing. Work later, but chilling nice. Yo, what's up, Maddie? Sorry, I was reading something. How are you, Maddie? How is it over there in the ice lands of Maddie? Boy. Pretty good day though so far, Maddie. If you're just now getting back, pretty much just called out us moving into this purple X area between the gap of end of February and the drawdown fib, which is the last drawdown fib from all time high. So pretty important. From here, I'm kind of just monitoring if tech continues up or not. Because if this continues up and these are still green, I don't know why SPY won't just continue up. It should just continue up. If this starts to falter, give up a little bit more, fall into the 50% of the gap, and these also start to kind of give up a little bit of their momentum to the upside, then I have to assume SPY is pulling back. But for right now, it does look like we're still trying to go up. And any of you guys in the stream can do this on your own. You don't have to sit here and wait for me to update the sectors. You can add these to your list and go through them as you want. The main ones that you want are between XLK to XLV. You mainly want these five. But I like to have staples here as an outlier because it's just kind of cool to have something to see rotations into outside of tech. And then energy, just because energy is kind of what's hot on the plate with the news and stuff. So I just have had it on there for a long time. It was a big watch for us back when the Ukraine stuff started again, because that wasn't the first time they've started, but energy crisis, energy prices go up. Same shit, different story. So I mainly have these two just for fun. Good, hella rainy this week. Bro, it's been raining down here a lot too. You've been a quoting machine as of late. That's good though. It's good. You got to get those out. Plus, if you hold yourself very well, you know, some people, even if they don't take the current job they want from you, maybe they take something smaller to see if they trust you more first. But if they like how you present yourself, you know, they'll be like, damn, I like this guy. I'm gonna have to call his ass back. Presentation was such a big thing. I got really good at it when I was in plumbing. I hate talking to people now, but like when I was in the zone, man, I was in the zone. Just got to be super polite. You gotta sound like you want to talk to everybody, but also be able to pick up on the vibe that somebody doesn't want to talk that much. They just want to get straight to the meat, which is totally cool. I respect the shit out of that. TP hit again, out one con, leaving runner. Damn, Rigney, you're on a roll, dude. I didn't really give you any assistance either. Like, I know we talked a little bit, of course, but like, I haven't really given you any assistance. I feel like you recovered like mentally over time on your own. But you did it through a good process, you know, trading, reviewing, prepping over and over and over again. Instead of just trying to get lucky, actually trying to pick up on, all right, why do I like this? And how can I repeat this? Like, I'm sure by now you've started to figure out some niche trades that you really like. Like, one that I really like is when we have like I don't even care about the open, but like when we push up and then we see like a level get tested and then it comes back down and it breaks the open. I really like that because I can use the open as the lower high retest spot. It's like a lead test, but it's an even more important lead test because you're using the CDO as your like key level for direction, which is super cool. Wait, clip what? What did I say? I'm in your wall, that's why. Back to morning trades only. I mean, that is really, if you're going to be scalping, that is pretty much when you should be aiming for. If you're not getting like a scalp in the morning, or if there's consolidation in the first part of the day, no higher or lower open, and you're like still hanging around lunchtime, like if you don't have a trade by then, you should probably just chill. I feel like that's just a good cutoff. I'm not saying there's zero good trades at the end of the day. Like it's just not. Like I mean, you got to get on with your day at that point. It's not about if the day has potential or not. So if you limit yourself to the area of the day you know is pretty decent, I feel like you're putting yourself in a better seat. But yeah, dude, good shit. You pretty much. I feel like you did really good, like recovering. Wait, what are you clipping? What did I get clipped on? I actually low key don't remember if I said something sus or not now. What did I say? I didn't? Oh. I forgot what I said, so I was like, man, what did I say? Like I was like going back in my memory, like, what did I say that was potentially sus? I forgot what I said yesterday, but I don't know if somebody clipped it, but low key, I was really hoping nobody did because I did say something sus as fuck yesterday. I swear it was like, if you were there listening, you were like, oh, he wasn't being sus. It was like, what the fuck? If you take it out of context, it was like the funniest sentence ever. Other trades are not many. They're not that many, and it's low. It's slower. Sorry, messed that up. I had to go to work yesterday, holding like 5 cons like that. Yeah, but you don't need to put yourself in that position, Rigner, where you're like, I hope I have a phone connection. You know, it was you mentioning your favorite kinds of plays. Damn, yeah, I'm brain farting right now, bro. I think I'm just tired. I've been going to bed kind of late, and I've been waking up like way earlier than usual. I think I actually am like growing up or something or getting older. It is very alarming. 3 trades for the day, 2 for 1K each. What the fuck, Terry Bud? 1 for break even. I think I'll sit on my hands so I don't overtrade. I respect the fuck out of that. Fear of giving it back won't let me trade clearly, so best to do nothing at all. I respect that. It's not even about that. It's like there's if you sit there and say, well, there could be more potential in the chart, even though I already did really good damage on it today. It's like you could say that at any point in the day, so it's not really special to take a trade. I think it's special to understand, damn, I did some good damage on the chart today. Let me just chill. Maybe even get some mental reps. If you really can't take your eyes off the chart, get some mental reps, but definitely don't overtrade to the definition of what we call overtrading. Overtrading, in my opinion, is when you really have stopped convincing yourself of like good setups. You really are just trying to increase that number, and that's not good. Because I know we've all been there, where it's like, damn, I made this much, but I could make this much. It's like that's when you've overtraded. That's a different number for every person. So I don't like to sit here and be like, dude, you took 3 or 4 or 5, like you're crazy. That's just like, yeah, that's crazy to me because I don't take that many. Everybody's different though. Though I do think there is a cutoff. Like, if you're pushing double digit numbers of trades even one time in the week, I think you're fucking crazy. And you're just overdoing it, or you need to do a different strategy or something because that's just crazy. You should not need to trade 10 times in a single session. I know that's why I got to get up in the morning, so I don't have that problem. Yeah, man. You just got to go to bed early, man. Go to bed early, wake up early, do your thing, man. Be prepped. It's hard to go to bed early, but getting up early, what can motivate you is just knowing, like, hey, I wanted to do this. I wanted to be up early. I wanted to be able to look at this so I could properly trade. That should be your motivation. It is hard to actually get up, though. All sectors beside tech is at or made a new high. Oh, for the day. I thought you meant, I'm thinking like all time high daily time frame. Like, what? Yeah, I think you're right. I told y'all, man, we could have a crazy green day if tech joins the fight, and it has not joined the fight. That's why I'm so impressed with Spy, because look how good it's done. This is without tech pumping. Like, tech did open higher and did some good moves at the beginning, but it hasn't really gone anywhere today. As you can see, that first candle is the high. That first dip it made, that is the low. We have not gone anywhere since. Good recovery and a good hold of the gap up 50%, but in terms of like direction, we haven't gone anywhere. While these other sectors, I mean, banks tried their best to push up, but comms did really good. Discretionary's done very good. Even healthcare has done really good, and honestly, it looks like it's trying to go up a little higher. And of course, just these sectors combined. Let's go count. Let's get an actual number so I don't give y'all some guess. Uh, let's just say 11, 10, 10, 9. So what's that? 21, 30, 39. So 39% of the market has just been doing really well today. 33% of the market, this chart, gapped up and has consolidated. So a lot of green and then just slightly green. And then the rest of the market, which is the minority, are like rotation sectors, like your staple stocks, your energy, which energy should be down because of news, but we'll see what happens to this over the next couple of weeks. Because if the news continues to get better with the Trump Iran stuff, then this will probably go down more. But this doesn't weigh 33% like this one does. There's a huge difference between them. No, almost no sector is equal except kind of these four right here. Actually, they're all about 9 to 11%, around 10. And remember, that's not just for SPY. I think some people hear me say that and they're like, "Oh my god, they only do it for SPY." This helps you with triple Q. This helps you with IWM. It's just mainly for SPY. And individual stocks too. If you're looking at Tesla, okay, what sector is that in? XLY. Okay, well, you need to be aware of what XLY is doing. So don't just sit there and go, dude, Tesla's killing it today. There's no news though. No, discretionary is doing good. That's why it's going up. You shouldn't need other reasons. Amazon, Amazon's doing really well. Amazon's doing really well. Tesla's doing very well. So what does that probably tell the story for discretionary, considering those are two of some of its largest weights? Discretionary is probably going up. So it's a back and forth relationship between the individual weights and then the whole sector of weights. They help each other out. It's actually really good information, and it's so easy and basic to look at. It's not like you have to do math or anything. From open, what has this done? All right, now go check the sectors. From open, what did it do? Now go check some of that sector's biggest weights. From open, what did it do? And just kind of compare and contrast. What did they do? Get back to me on that. You went to bed at 2, got home at 12:40. That's pretty good. I instantly saw a SPY coming down a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if tech's coming down a little bit." I didn't really look at it when we were clicking through them, but yeah, that slowed down. And these have all pushed up really high, so I don't really blame them if they slow down, not really pull back, but just consolidate. But if every sector consolidates, that will bring a couple red candles on your SPY chart. XLK near pre-market low. Good looks. It's also around the gap up 50%, which is a very decisive level. The other decisive level is about right here. We've already broken it, rejected it once again, so we're still bearish on tech under the open, but we have yet to truly break this area and retest under, so kind of in a range on tech right now. Remember, you're open, you're 50% if you have a gap up or a gap down, which in today's case we do. And then your previous day control point, which is pretty much not needed today because it's just so far down here, way down here. So these two levels decide direction short term. We've already rejected once, twice, looking to push under the other one, potentially. A hold here just probably screams for more consolidation on tech, which is honestly kind of boring, but it's the truth. It's the reality. But if that consolidates or pulls back, and these are all consolidating or pulling back, then we will see a big stop on SPY. Kind of what we've already been seeing right here with these two slowdown candles here. But yeah, I truly mean just like it'll probably just consolidate out if those don't go anywhere. But it is cool to see the sectors all doing the same thing today, for the most part. Some days there's always like an outlier, like tech will be pumping and discretionary is doing great, comms are doing great, but then like banks and healthcare aren't doing anything, and it's like fuck. Like the move is really good, but it could have been better, kind of thing. Today you can't complain. We gapped up and it just kept going up, so can't really complain. Now you're looking to see if it's slowing down from here, and if it breaks under the gap, top of that highlighted area, can it pull back more towards that pre-market high, current day open, stuff like that. Up about 22% on Triple Q Colio, and this is about where I bought it. Love it. Damn. Must have had a pretty good entry then. Thank you guys again for showing up in the stream. If you guys dropped a thumbs up, thank you. If you shared the stream link around, thank you as well. Damn, D-Touch is posting results and reviews. Pretty fire. Damn, 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 damn. Just sharing that XOK is back at 50% of the gap. Dude, SPX did insane. Rigney is alive. Oh, you're doing far ones out. My bad, Maddie. I see. I thought this was like a scalp. I'm like, how the hell are you up 22%? But that makes a lot more sense now. People, are you really selling your inventory? That's actually crazy. I feel like that's a good price considering your inventory's about 1,000 more or just under 1,000 more than that on Steam. I feel like that's not bad. Because I know when I see people sell their whole inventory, it's like they lose like a big chunk of the value of their thing because, to cash is different than Steam value. So, of course, it's going to be lower, but I feel like not even 1,000 lower is actually pretty good for that amount. But I don't know. That's a tough decision to make because that's a lot of skins. Does that include the AK or not the AK? I didn't read everything in that chat. Yeah, Rigney, buy that AK. I'm kidding. You should check out his inventory there, Rigney. I don't know if he'd sell to a lowly American like you or me, but you'll take them if he signs them. That's where the value is, though, is his signature. That is true. Like, imagine FIPO ends up in a plane crash, bro, and you have one of his skins. Like, dude, that's going up in value 600x. I'm gonna never sell it in. Netflix is actually kind of on a generational run. Dude, Visa actually would have been so perfect, but look how quickly it gave up. It really was like the first 10 minutes of the day. I guess I can't be too mad we weren't in them. Literally, both of them did the same thing. Pump the first 10 minutes, and then it was like, all right, if you don't get out, you're fucked. Those aren't really the most fun. I guess it's a good way to test yourself. Dude, I was looking at this and I was just like, man, Amazon's been looking pretty good recently. And then I had that little break and then I came back and it's just up. Uppity up, up, up. It's already past the supply of this high, so maybe it can make it to right here. Dude, Amazon's on crack. And let's see. Remember, from level to high of the first move before a slowdown, and then zoom in and try to see is there anything around that that could be taken away. Not a bad bounce right here. A little weird with the two hammers like that, but not the end of the world. New high. It's a crazy chart today. I keep like having the same chart, and then I like tell myself, don't mess with this one, keep this one clean. And then I turn them all into this chart. That's a crazy 30-minute candle. That's crazy. This chart has room now to all-time high. It's got that one level we drew in the middle today, and then it's got all-time high supply. You'll touch it again if XLK gets above 146.60. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just as long as they hold on to the 50% of the gap up, it could pump again technically, which it's still technically doing. I would like to point out these are both doing the same thing right now. Hammer at gap 50%, and then this one is doing hammer above the recent resistance. Or I can't even say resistance, just target area. It's on the wrong chart, isn't it? Yeah. It's doing the same thing though. You got a hammer here and a hammer here. This is the 30-minute, by the way, for anybody who can't see that, because that is kind of tiny. And then that far left chart, that little tiny baby chart, that's just SPY on the daily with the same levels from this chart. We were bullish because we were starting above this area, broke above pre-market high to kind of double confirm that. We were bullish to this level, top of the gap, and to 690, 134. Now I'm kind of looking just to see, can this go more or not? And I'm kind of using XOK to help me out with that, as well as the other sectors, because if these all give up, then tech moving up might not help this as much, that we might just consolidate out to the right. If these hold green and this actually does really well, this chart right here, then this does have a chance of making it up to that higher level, which again wasn't really on the agenda today for me, but still got to learn how to adjust and plan ahead. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to stretch and talk all at the same time. That didn't work out too well. If you guys are in the stream, make sure to drop a like if you're enjoying some of the information. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Definitely would advise anybody in here to just go back to the beginning of the stream, check out some of the early stuff and whatever you want. Just kind of see how things go on in here. Welcome though. Need tech to get back to PMH and XLF. Make her get back to today's high. I mean, you're honestly okay with XLF not doing anything as long as the others hold up. It's when more than one of these fold is when you're like, oh shit. One of these meaning F, C, Y, or V. The main core, I guess, is what we should be calling them. The four musketeers. And then tech, which is just like their big bro. XLK little bros, all four of them combined. Actually, no, not combined. Combined, they might be able to big bro XLK. I think they do actually weigh a little bit more combined. Let's see. 11, 22 and a half, or 21 and a half. 30, we'll just say 31 and a half. Yeah, about 40 to 42%. So it literally takes all 4 of them to go green or red to fuck up an XLK move. So if XLK pumps, that's a crazy 30-minute, by the way. My bad, guys. I'm a little quiet because I'm just reading, but kind of just on the same analysis. Kind of just nothing has changed from what I've really been saying over and over again. So I just don't really want to annoy you guys with saying the same thing over and over again. So then I just go to silence. But I just don't want to bore people because just saying the same thing over and over. Every sector is looking really good still. A lot of them have definitely slowed down, cooled off, gotten near resistance. That's for sure. Tech still has a potential second leg in the market if it can start going, just because everything is still green. So again, just kind of restating everything I've already said. I could also dump. I don't want to just make it seem like it could only pump. I'm only saying that because it's fallen, yes, but it's held on to the other most directional level of the day. Two levels that we look at every day for direction are the current day open and the previous day control point. PDCP is pretty far, so we're not really using that today. Today we were lucky enough to have a what the hell? To have a gap up, so I can draw from the close of yesterday to the open of today, which just marks the full extent of that gap, from open market session to open market session. And then we can use this as a level just like that current day open or that previous day control point for direction. So if we're holding it, good chance we're trying to bounce. If we're breaking it, good chance we're trying to go down. And it's actually directional. It's not like other levels where when we're breaking from this, target previous day close. Like I'm not going to use just previous day close to see a move go up or down from. Like it is a good level, but it's not a level I'm going to use to be like, all right, let's be bullish from this. If anything, that's a good bearish target if we dump from 146.26. B, a cool teacher in Mexico is teaching his students about physics using One Piece. What? I send you the article on your DM to check it out on your spare time. You're good. I'll check it out right now. I'm not doing anything. How did he use? How does he do it for physics? Though that's what I'm interested in. His teacher uses One Piece to teach physics. Horizontal projectile motion to tension, compression, and oh, there. This motherfucker is literally made of rubber. And one lesson uses Luffy's stretchy gum fruit abilities to illustrate elasticity, while the Going Merry ship helps explain how weight and buoyancy work. Oh my god, he even uses the ship. What a real one. Dude, somebody said it in the comments. Okay, but drawing skills on a whiteboard, this teacher is a talent. Dude, yeah, these drawings are actually kind of insane. This guy's like an actual artist that just happens to be a physics teacher. That shit's clean. That's pretty cool. That's honestly, I never really had a teacher like that. Like maybe I had one, but it wasn't like a for like an actually good class. It was just like one of those side classes, like an elective or whatever. But I never had a teacher that did things like that. Like try to actually relate it to something to make it easier to understand. Because that's really cool. Physics using like all that stuff is actually kind of cool. And yeah, XLK guys, looks like our bias is right. It is getting a little bit of some green movement. We'll see if it gets some more movement over CDO or not. I really want to see it get over 147 before I'm truly like, yeah, SPY's pumping. But as you can see, the other sectors are just so green that it almost doesn't matter. Any green movement has helped SPY move up a lot just because the other sectors are holding up so well. Today's a really cool example of the other sectors actually helping. Damn, Maddie. Those are moving really good then for you. I didn't think that'd move up that like that well, but that's pretty good. Damn, Rigney. You were trying to swing them? Yeah, that's what I thought you were trying to do too, but already up that much, like that's pretty fucking good for a contract that's like I'm not gonna say super far out because you said May. That's a pretty good amount of time though, like for just a casual triple Q contract. I don't know. I wouldn't. I would honestly react based on what it does here at 147 if you feel like you don't want to hold it long, just because it's already moved so well so quickly. But if it pumps 147, bro, ride that shit. I don't know what your plan was for it. But yeah, I'd be impressed just because like that is a pretty good amount of time, and you said like 20 something percent earlier, right? Like 21, 22% earlier. Now you're up like 44%. Like that's pretty fucking good on a May contract. What is this notification I keep getting on YouTube? It keeps telling me to start a members only live stream while I'm streaming. Like, what are we doing? What would that do to people? Would that literally kick people out of the stream if they weren't a member of the channel? Feels like communism with extra steps. The idea was to capture big tech earnings for cheap. Oh, in case like all the earnings came out there did really well. I think a lot of the tech earnings will do better than people think because I think everyone's still in the mindset of like, oh my god, the whole world's on fire. It's like, man, tech's been doing fine. Their earnings should be fine. So and since a lot of them are on discounts, I wouldn't be surprised to see a good pump into those earnings season or into the earnings season. That wouldn't shock me, which would also piss off people in the general market because they're thinking like, oh my god, even I said it. Bad news should be coming out soon unless the Iran stuff is fixed like pretty soon. But that now they've moved the meeting to the end of this week, so it's like there's room for this to just go up, even though we're kind of waiting to see if more bad news is coming or not, which is going to piss off a lot of people, but it happens. That's why I always like to play both sides. I always like to sit here and kind of, even if I have a bias, I'll still sit here and give myself a condition on how could I be wrong though? What could happen for me to be wrong? And I was definitely a lot more bullish whenever the open happened today, just because of how the other sectors have been performing. And how tech didn't just fade away, right? Because if if tech had broken this and we were under this and we were rejecting it like we're like this right here, but down here, I'd be a little bit more worried. I'd be telling you guys, no, this is probably dropping. But just because we're holding so well over the gap 50%, it's like the opposite now. It's like, okay, this actually has a chance of moving up more. And then you throw in the earnings season stuff. It's just for the more macro side of things, it is interesting. And you put it on the like daily time frames too, weekly time frames, and like you'll see like there's a lot of big tech charts that are down a lot, but a lot of our sectors are actually up a lot. So it's like perfectly placed. I think earnings will be fine. It's how they project future that'll be interesting. Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't really care about like I know forward guidance is important, but I honestly don't care about a lot of that stuff anymore because I swear you'll get so caught up in like, well, they said they were going to outperform. It's like, yeah, but if there's a war going on, that's not really their fault. So it really does depend on how does tech earnings go coming soon, and then does the Iran deal actually happen or not? Because it was supposed to already be done deal. Now we're pushing it to the end of this week. So it's like fuck, gotta wait a little longer now. But that leaves room for this to move up more. Buy the rumor, sell the news. That's why so many people get so pissed off so quickly when things go up. It's like you shouldn't try to predict bottoms and tops. You should just go with the flow. I'm definitely a little more bullish than bearish, but I've been waiting for this news to come out, and it keeps getting prolonged. We don't actually know if this is going to come to a close or not. So it leaves open that room for error for the market to move up, even though it feels like it should be moving down. If that makes sense. I'm trying to make that make sense. But guys, look at this push. Good hammer hold, like we were already talking about. Good push off of this. It's leaving more room for this to make it to a higher level. I'm actually super impressed by this. If anybody's been in here, I was bullish to this area. And I said anything past that's honestly just impressive to me. So I don't want to sit here and be like, I called this. I've been just kind of monitoring, is this going to keep going up or not, to help me see if this is going to do that or not. I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, I called this. I did not. You were bullish and I was bullshit. I played a spy put overnight. Yeah, I've been kind of leaning away from shorting and just kind of like waiting to see something else pop up before I get into anything again. And even yesterday at the end of the stream, we did a little bit of some swing analysis, and I was bullish on a lot of the tech stuff I was looking at. Like we looked at Adobe, we looked at Visa, looked at a couple others like those, and I like those for bullish setups, just for like a quick overnight swing. But yeah, that's tough, man. All right, now be careful though. They are hitting current day open. This is the other most directional level in the chart today. If there's two most important levels in the chart today, it's this purple line, current day open, and then the 50% of the gap, which is just a fib from previous day close to today's open, that orange line. So all it did just now is it bounced between this and is hitting this one. So now we're going to see, can it go more? That's why I was saying 147 would be like a clear sign this is trying to pump more, because it's not just over this, but it's over both levels. Whereas just getting to this, it kind of makes it feel like it'll reject and then kind of stay in range, which will cause some more consolidation on the SPY chart. And then we'll look through the other sectors to see if those are also cooling off or not, to see if that kind of picks up that impact. Final target is 694.24, hold 692.78. Where are you getting? What is 692.78? I like your target, but where are you getting that other level? Let go XLK, rip at 147. Yeah, we'll see. I won't lie, it does look promising because this isn't the first time it's bounced this level. This is the second time. So if it's going to break this, it's going to be this time. If it doesn't, then you should be like, okay, shit. Maybe it is higher day.
Does that make sense though to everybody? Not just Letterbuck. I know Letterbuck understands that, but that's an important thing to think about. You know, it's not the first time it's done this. It's gone down here and held this once. So if it's going to go up, it's going to do it this time. If it doesn't, that is also information. Just because it didn't break out doesn't mean, oh no, I'll just blindly hold. No, that should probably go back to the bottom of the zone again. Because you're going to have people thinking, oh, it was about to pump. Just halfway between the two levels. Dude, I almost drew that to guess if that was it or not, but I was like, no, let's see if he's got something. I almost did draw that to see if that's how you got it, but good looks, good looks. Respect. 147, let's see if she can do it. Why do I refer charge to she? Every chart is a she. Why is that? Why does my brain do that? Yerp. I know some of you like OGs in my chat understand that, but there might be some people in here that are like, what? That have heard the term like double confirmation and like waiting on two things, but like I don't think people have truly heard it that way, where it's like it's already done this once, so why are you expecting it to do this again? It should break out or not break out. It should be making its decision here. It already proved it's holding, or vice versa if you're on like a reject scenario. What a nerd posting industry watch, Rigby. Bum. No, I'm kidding. Low key, the moving the market part is the best. Let's see what financial. Did Financial Juice add anything? Nothing changed. I can't believe all-time high supply is literally right there. Bro, the internet would have you believe the world was ending. I find it hilarious. We get 1 to 2 red days. We get a guy in chat just spamming bees. We go green and nowhere to be found. Wait, where was that? In our chat? Who was it? I'll humble them right now. Bees. I don't remember that. I must have missed that shit. This guy joined chat and says, "Great day trading, guys. I hope you killed it. There's a need to be very nimble. We are one sweet, one bond for a market tank job. In my opinion, have a great day here." I'm sorry. I need to ban that person because that's a crazy first time message. Yo, Carter, who was it though? I want to find that. Or where was it? There's also something that happened in chat that you guys need to do better at making me aware of. But there's people who join chat that have me blocked. And they can type and stuff. And I can't see it. So yeah.
I don't know though. I'm actually drawing a blank. I have no clue. Someone who came into chat spammed bees. I'm telling you, Joe, I did not see this. Like, this happened this week? Or last week? You did not see it either? I'm actually confused because now I want to fucking know. Bro's got me actually going up really far in the chat now. Spammed bees. Oh. Well, the reason I thought that is because, you know, the bee. My bad. My bad. I told you I was tired. Oh, that makes so much more sense. I was dead ass scrolling through Trade Floor, like looking for someone spamming bees or like a bee emoji or something. I'm like, who are y'all talking about? I'm like, I didn't see any of that shit. And I've been the most active person in chat this week. So I was like, there's no way I missed this. Honestly, man, when it comes to other people's bullshit, you just gotta ignore it. Now, you gotta understand with Fud King, the only reason I haven't banned him or kicked him from chat ever is because he is like the epitome of his name, like Fud King. Like he types up a storm, but then you actually see what he does with his trading, and it's like two completely different people. So what you're probably seeing is like, and this is probably what you're seeing a lot of the time when you see people's emotions on the internet, is they probably read something or got really passionate about something, or something really stirred them up for the good or for the bad, for the worse, and then they had to just get it all out. So maybe that's what he's doing. I have no idea. The only reason I have never gotten, I mean, I've gotten onto him. I'd be lying to you all if I said I've never gotten onto him, because I've definitely done a fair share of that. But I don't know. As long as you guys are like pushing your opinions on other people, I really don't care. It's just when people go overboard and they're like, "Hey guys, make sure I get credit for you knowing this." Like, it's like, okay, bro, calm down. Like, we're just sharing information. We don't need to set claims on every little piece of information we're sharing with you. Like when you go another level is when I kind of like, I'm like, all right, relax. Like when someone's ego is out of bounds in a certain way. But I don't know. Micro doesn't really have like an ego. Like if you just like let him get out of his system, or you even engage with him, like he's not gonna like attack you. He's just really stuck in whatever he thinks. But he's been in my chat for fucking ever, so like he's been here longer than probably anyone else in here. Been here for a very long time. Actually, I want to go look. I'm pretty sure he left on accident and joined back, so I don't think his date is accurate. Also, is he even typed today? I can't find his name. But one thing I like about him is like, even if he is typing up a storm in there, it's not like he's grabbing puts and he's holding puts from the top to the bottom. Like he might talk up a storm, but he really does do a lot of like, he buys shares, owns shares of things. Him and his wife hold their shares, or girlfriend or wife. I don't remember what she is. I think it's his wife. And then he does like large equity trades, like he sells calls. He doesn't just buy naked calls like you and me are doing. So he does have a lot larger of a pocket to deal with than a lot of people in chat, I'll be honest with you. But he doesn't really gloat about it. So I don't know. I can't really hate him because he's not really hateable. But he does go off the rails. I will agree to anyone who says that. He does go off the rails in chat a little bit. But that's our FUD king. It's just funny to you? Nah, because we green. Yeah, of course he's not typing. I don't know. He does have a little too much political bias in his shit. That's why I try not to be politically biased. I don't even like to get into that stuff, honestly. I know I talk about it in stream and stuff, but it's just not good. Not to say you're not allowed to have beliefs. I just don't think it's cool to like die on the hill of some of your beliefs that aren't more important than the person standing in front of you. You know? Your beliefs aren't so important that you need to push it onto someone or, hate someone for it. Like that's going overboard. If he does not think the same, he is not with us. But yeah, he has been that way the whole time. The first thing he ever FUD kinged in the beginning of my chat was NVIDIA. Before AI. This is pre AI. Microsoft was recent, but there was another one he used to do. NVIDIA was the big one though. Back in the day, he would always FUD NVIDIA in our chat. It was fucking hilarious. Though he did also call out that it would probably pump to the moon. And he didn't go into chat and go like, guys, did y'all give me credit for this? Like, he didn't really give a shit about that. But he did technically call the NVIDIA pump before AI came out for, before everybody started saying AI on the earnings calls. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some water. Don't go anywhere.
Dude, I'm back. I told y'all I would be back. Jesus. Just thought it out a little bit. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. By the way, what's up, VC? XOK trying to hammer off the open. I'm definitely not complaining if it does. Though this is already a pretty insane amount of movement. Remember, we closed at 686 yesterday. We're up $7 right now. That is about 1% because we're almost at 700. So it's a little easy to do that math. But actually, it is 1%. Look, 1%. Welcome back, bro. What's up, Fipo? How are you doing, by the way, Fipo? Well, I guess I already know how you're doing because we're both in Polo's thing. I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I was saying, you selling for 8.7 and the Steam says it's like 9.6 or something or whatever. That's actually pretty good. But I was asking, does that include the AK that I just sent back? Because that'd be cool if you could keep that. It doesn't? Okay, cool. Just so you have. My bad, I didn't mean to yawn into the mic. No change to the TA still. I mean, every sector's still doing really fucking good, actually. I am a little worried about healthcare because they're against a good area. Discretionary and comm still have room. And even if they don't go up more, they have levels to look at if they fall more in case they pull back. Banks still just above a good area. And then tech, of course. We've been watching tech the whole day. Holding on to the gap 50%, trying to get above and close above the today's open, which is very important. If they're above both of these levels, it increases the chance of this trying to go up, which honestly does help out SPY a fuck ton, just because all these sectors are green. And if tech was to continue, that would help this make it to 694, which again, I said was possible, but I've never once sat here, just so we're all clear, I've never once sat here and been like, guys, let's go long from here to here. You know, I was telling people, let's go long into this area. I have not once said, like, I haven't changed us being bullish, sure, but I've never once been like, yeah, let's target 694. So I would like to make it clear this second half of this move is impressive to me, just based on what I had planned. I don't like to sit up here and like take credit for moves. It's like that I didn't even have mapped out. I was just like, we might have had them mapped out in the stream, but like I meant like beforehand. It's not like I sat here and was like, yeah, we're going to 694 today. I was pretty hell bent on us going to 690, 690, 130s, but this is impressive. It counts the skins that I have in my inventory without trade holding no cases. What case in your AK? Damn. Dude, let me know if you saw all that stuff though. Dude, I told Rigney to go look at your damn inventory. I was like, dude, you need to go look in there and see if he wants anything. If he was to buy it. But that would be pretty cool though if you sold it. I mean, I guess it all comes down to if you're done with the game or not. You know, if you're done with it, then fuck it. That's a good deal. But if you're still like wanting to like play it a little bit here and there, like I don't know. I guess it is kind of a tough one to think about. Plus, it is a lot of money.
Good morning. What is up, Data J? Great morning to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. How is it over there in the grand land of Data J? Horrible stomach bug? Oh my fuck, dude. I can't stand stomach bugs. I actually feel really bad for you. That shit sucks. That sucks because your body, too, like, even when you're done, like, I won't even say a word, but whenever you're done, like, letting things out, your body's just in so much pain and, like, fatigued and, like you're thirsty, but you don't want to drink anything at the same time. I hope you get better, man. That seriously does suck. I hate the fatigue feeling if I ever get sick or have a stomach. I hate that feeling, like where your whole body just feels like, why do I have to miss an amazing trend day, not some BS chop fest? It is kind of crazy today because every sector did really good, even without tech, popping off the page. Like tech did really good; they're up 1%, but they're only just now looking like they can go more. But every sector today was really good. Went up, very clear. Kind of makes this pump make a lot more sense. And this is another good reason why I don't like to sit here and be like I'm aware of, yes, Trump Iran news into this week can send things back down, but I just think it's so stupid to sit here and just be bearish just because of news. Like, use the levels to back that up, or whatever you have in front of you. Just anything else on top of that. But you're good, Data J, dude. Honestly, just you need to focus on just getting better, dude. There will be more great days for you. But I hope you get better, man, because that actually sucks. I hate the stomach bug. Feeling a bit better now, thanks. Good. I definitely feel it for you. Those are not fun. Them techs still pushing. That's funny. Dude, it's gonna go to 694.24. That's crazy. And Leland is in chat? Where? In stream? Where art thou, Leland? You posted today and yesterday's trade review. Bet Rigney, I'll check that out in a second. Bears need to go in hibernation mode. I can help the Bears by chasing this long. Bing bong, 4 more quotes and out. Let's go, dude. You're actually on fire, Maddie. And your Q's position's on absolute fire while you're doing the quotes. Well, Lilu, it's the same thing. It's just Triple Q has different weighting, right? So like XLK on SPY is just about 33%. Triple Q is going to be like 90% of what of XLK is doing. So if XLK is going up, your Triple Q is probably going up because they're like almost 90% the same thing. If anything, I call Triple Q like dirty tech because it has tech stocks plus other stuff that isn't tech. And then XLK is like pure tech, pure blood tech. So it's not that there's like an equivalent sector. They're the same thing. It's just there's a little bit more in Triple Q than there is XLK. If that makes sense. So if you hear me say XLK, I'm basically saying Triple Q. Because they're both just tech. They are doing about the same thing. You don't have the pullback in Triple Q, but that would just tell me that there's weights in Triple Q that's not in XLK that are outperforming, which makes sense because there's not just tech in Triple Q. There's other things in here as well. It's just mainly tech. And when you hear people say tech, like, it's just what it is mainly. But it's just NASDAQ. That's also why I like IWM, because like your small cap stocks, like stocks that not a lot of us are going to be looking at, and not a lot of people look at in general. Like there's going to be a day where SPY and Triple Q are just not doing the greatest, and we saw this in last week a couple times, honestly. But SPY and Triple Q just kind of have a meh day, and people just assume nothing is happening. It's like, dude, small caps are probably getting action, and you go back to those days that those were doing things. Small caps were popping off, holding support, gapped up, another move back up. Like it's kind of cool that there's other sectors you can go look at. I just like to look at it like this because this is like an actual like calculated out, kind of thing where I can actually piece together how much of what is up and down to kind of put a better picture in my head. But yeah, if you hear me say tech or Triple Q or XOK, like those are all basically all the same thing. They're not 100% the same thing though. Just basically. Good question though, because that's actually a pretty cool way of thinking about it. Why do I have SPY up there twice? What am I doing? And remember, I kind of flipped to the 30-minute ever since this candle. It was still a little bit more red than this. I just kind of liked it because it's like, damn, if a hammer is here at the gap 50% on the second time, like it kind of makes me think like, damn, this might bounce. which further adds on to how good these other sectors were doing, because that's still doing great, that's still doing great, discretionary still doing great, healthcare still up there. It just had not the greatest pump from tech, but it didn't hurt anything either, so that it should not have had any pullbacks. And if you go back to SPY, there was basically zero pullbacks. So that makes sense. Makes it make sense. Instead of going to the chart and being like, well, Trump tweeted this and people expected Iran this and oil that, it's like, that's not the only reason the market moves. You can make sense of it in multiple ways. Oh, no problem, Lidu. That was actually a good question, because I could kind of see you're like actually trying to tinker with how it works and stuff and make it make sense. But you can actually Google this if you want to break it down even further. I spelled waiting wrong. Fuck it. Like you'll have your Mag 7, like your big boys, and then you'll have the rest of Triple Q. So that's why a lot of people just, but you'll see this, like, this is why I'm saying, like, this isn't just tech. That's why I don't like to call Triple Q tech, because it's not just tech. Apple is tech, discretionary, comms. That's 3 different sectors just between those 5. So that's why I don't like to call it just straight up tech, but it is heavily tech. Look, tech 60%, but you can see, look, consumer staples, healthcare, industrials, telecom. That's the com sector, the XLC, XLP. Oh no, this is XLY. Sorry, XLB. So you can see it's not just tech. Whereas if I go to this chart, this is literally just tech. A 99.87% tech, basically 100%. Just to make sure that makes sense to everybody else. I'm not used to checking Discord and there being like actually so many messages. Oh, you said Leland was in Discord? Am I blind? Oh, he is in Discord. Sinful saying happy birthday to the ground. Sinful has the greatest comedic timing out of anyone I've ever met. Don't tell him I said that. He posted T triple Q. Shop. He's such a shop fanatic. I said, thanks for the shop update, bro. I'm dying over here. It's funny. It is crazy how many people like that we have in chat that could just show up anytime they want, and you just have like the utmost respect for them because you know, like they've been here for a fucking long ass time, been doing that work. He's kind of doing the Jason thing though. I called it, dude. I said he'd just probably stop by, drop a couple bangers, and kind of just show up months later, and like all the bangers worked out really well. Which honestly, not complaining. That was Jason to us though with Roku. Just drop in every few months. Hey guys, it's gonna pump. See you guys later. Come back and be up fucking $100 a share. If Leland wasn't there, I would have no one to study. True. Good shit, Rudney. 75% win rate is insane. Which is really good because remember, like, when you have really good entries and you keep your losses small, like, you don't even have to have that great of a win rate. So the fact you have a 75% while also keeping your losses small is even more impactful. It's not just 75%, it's an impactful 75%. You can have a 75% win rate and still be losing, still be down money. So make sure you keep the back end of that up too. But yeah, no, I mean you're not going to take offense if you're studying Leland content. I'm really not, because he is the goat, and I will die on that hill. uh, I think I'll end the stream here in a few minutes. I'm sorry, I really wanted to see if Tech was going to actually push 147s or not, but Spy pushed so much, I don't think I care anymore. Spy actually made it to that level just about without Tech doing that extra pump. You know, I mean, it did a really good move. Don't get me wrong, I am on the 30 minutes, so it doesn't look as impressive, but this is a really good amount of movement from gap 50% on the second trip here all the way up to the current day open and then over it now, which is again impressive because basically no pullback during that whole second move. So definitely helpful for these other sectors that were already green or trying to go up or have been up and have just been waiting for Tech to help out. I would say discretionary was the most impressive today out of the main core, just because it pumped after the higher open, consolidated, and then just one way up for a very long time. While some of these consolidated a little bit longer or went up and then just straight up consolidated the rest of the day. Or like banks, just a little bit more of a chop fest, but still, you know, on the incline. So a little impressive. That's why I say XOY is the most impressive, just because of how straight up that chart is. A couple things we went over in the pre-market at the beginning of the stream was the AMD inside bar. For anybody who is watching that, they did open over the entirety of it. They dipped down, they retook, they pushed back up. You can see that on the smaller time frame. So a little bit of a choppy morning for them, but you can see they finally broke up and freed up a little bit from the outside of that inside bar to that next level. Not the craziest of moves, but it is something that I plotted out for the chat. Of course, you would have had to wait because, of course, we had to wait on Tech to bounce from the gap 50%, like I just explained. What else? We went over SPY, the sectors a lot, like I just explained. What else am I missing? I'm probably missing something. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to add into the end of the stream here, though, please feel free to. I'm always happy to hear anyone out or just go over whatever, you know. No question is truly dumb, in my opinion. Unless you're like, you know, asking me if calls are for going up, then of course I'm going to probably think you're trolling. Still doing work on my candlestick patterns. Yeah, and that's another thing. Thank you for reminding me. If you join the Discord, go to the pinned messages on the trade floor. Free to check it. Scroll down. Download the... Where's it at? Download the Candlestick Handbook. You can also download the FOMC guide, but download this. This shit's fucking just a gold mine, I'm telling you. A lot of this stuff is from the stuff me and Leland have covered, but Leland put all that together, so make sure to go check it out. It is the one thing I ask everybody to at least look at or download. What patterns have you worked through, Rigney? Or what are you working on exactly? Damn, Netflix is fucking popping off. I might actually have to start drawing levels above it now. That is crazy to look at. And thank you guys again for 26 likes. Seriously, I hope people in here actually enjoy the way I talk about things in here. I've been trying my best to be a little bit more positive about everything and actually just kind of focus on what's important, so people can actually get some value out of the streams. If it makes you trade better, cool. If it makes you just have a better idea of how we like to plan, cool. If it helps you, awesome. If you just kind of use it as like guidance or extra confirmation, also cool. I respect that because yeah, you should never rely on somebody else. If you like the strategy, if you like the levels, if you like the way we look at sectors and look at things like that, very cool. Respect to all of you. But yeah, I just hope some of the stuff I talk about actually helps and you guys use it and whatever. You know how that should go. The long term stuff too. We don't just talk about short term stuff in here or SPY. We also talk about long term picks, dollar cost averaging, swing trading. We go over a lot of different things in here. So if you're ever interested in any of those things, feel free to check out the streams, the public ones. They're free. So crows, haramis, and reversal soldier patterns are basically all of them because I forgot the names. You need to just start slow. Like you just need to remember like engulfings. So here, let me do this. So here's like the one day, and then the next day engulfs. Here's like one day, the next day is a piercing line. Here's one day, and the next day is a soldier. So there's one big distinct difference between just these three, just to help you out with. Here, let me do this. Does anyone want to point it out before I give you the answer? What is the one distinct difference, or what is a distinct difference between all three of these? Because they're all doing the same thing. They're all pointing, hey, we're trying to go up. It's a short term, hey, we're trying to go up signal. But what is the initial difference between them? What is the first thing going into that next day, going into that second day, the second purple line, that we see the difference on? What is the difference between these at the very beginning of the day on that second candle? Who can tell me? I kind of gave it away.
And Rigney, feel free to guess.
But try to actually get it. And this is why I say it's okay to forget the names. Like, you really don't need to remember the names of all these patterns, but you do need to remember the distinct difference between them. And you'll notice a trend as I go through this. Because, again, these things I'm about to go over are things you should be plotting every day no matter what anyway. Well, what is the distinct difference that each of these three have? Going into that second day, what's the very first thing? The opens, exactly, the open. You got it correct, that's correct. The open is different. So you have a lower open on the engulfing. And what is the thing it needs to do to become an engulfing? It needs to eat the previous day, right? So it's not just a lower open, it's also a higher close. So remember the open and the close. Lower open, higher close. Go to this one now. What does this one have? Just like this one, it has a lower open. But what do we need for this? It just needs to get over the 50% of the previous day. It doesn't need to get over the previous day's high. So you could see it stops a little short, but it takes the 50% of the previous day. So you have a lower open and a good close over the PDCP, but not engulfing the entire day like an engulfing candle. So it's basically just a not as, you could say strong, but I like to say not as visible buyer candle, because an engulfing, anyone can see that. Not everybody spots piercing lines. And then, yes, you got it correct. In the soldier, it is already gapped up from the previous day. Maybe that's a red day, maybe that's a green day, and it just gapped down a little bit. It works better if that previous day is a green day on this candle, but either way, it doesn't matter. But what is the key level in between the previous day that we're using? The previous day control point. So if it gaps up and it pushes over this level, maybe it starts under it, maybe over it, doesn't matter, and it gets above this, it's a very good chance that it is trying to break that high. And what happens in this scenario, Rigney, where this day opens higher and it doesn't break this? Maybe it goes up and then it rejects and it becomes a what? A hammer. See how it flips back into another candlestick pattern? Like, it's still telling you something. But that's the main difference between those three. And then, honestly, you should not call them haramis. You should just call them inside bars. Inside and outside bars, which is basically what engulfings are for outside bars. Haramis are basically just inside bars. So if you want to, remember the easier name, that's those. And then also another cool thing, if you remember what a bullish engulfing looks like, or a bullish piercing line, or a bullish soldier candle, you also know the opposites. The opposite to an engulfing is an engulfing. The opposite to a piercing line is a dark cloud cover, right? Let's say we're going up. We're going up. This day opens higher, or higher open, sorry. And then it closes back down under this day's 50%, right? Now we're like, oh shit, that's a dark cloud cover, right? What's the opposite of a soldier? A crow. So if you've learned one, or you've learned this, or you've learned this, you know the opposite as well. So every one pattern you learn, you're actually learning two. It's just different directions. But you should still be dictating direction from highs, opens, closes, and previous day control points, most importantly. Oh, the strat. Yeah, that actually has a name. That's called the strat. That's basically just coding candlestick patterns. Like, so you can have like a code, which I don't use that, because I'm more focused on just remembering the patterns and just using them how I like.
but I have nothing against the strat. Anyone who's ever came into my community and has used it has never complained in my chat because we all talk the same way. It's just some of them are using the numbers, some of us are actually using the names, but you should all still be using the same levels: opens, closes, the previous day control points. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the strat if that's what you're using. Strat's totally fine. It's just it's a cool way of looking at things. I don't like the name of it because it kind of throws people off. The strat, but it is really cool. It's a very, very good concept in my opinion. Because it like basically gives you like a speed running route to calling out what candles are telling you what. Or identifying them quicker, which again is the name of the game. Identifying as fast as you can, getting in when you see you have the advantage. If you take forever to spot something, you're never gonna have the advantage. But how is that rig needs? That help? Oh yeah, we can look at your trade review. No problem. Rest in peace, Rob Smith. Who is Rob Smith? Please. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but please speed me up to date on that. Let's check out your. Trade review. Where's it at? Here it is. Monday and today trades just late and was at work with limit orders for the TPs. Today was looking at the sectors. Nice. So you got two longs here. Exited pretty quickly. Which I feel like this is a little bit of a late entry. Which is probably why you felt the need to get out so quick. And then it kind of feels like you were like, well, I don't want to miss it because it's still holding really well. I feel like you got to space these out or one of these can't be traded. But you could definitely see you were like, no, I know to be bullish, but you had a hard time at first. So definitely go back and review that and see what on XLK was making you think that. You had good bias. It's just you were a little indecisive right here. Like you're like in, out. All right, fuck. Let me get back in because I know it's still bullish. You even doubled down right here to kind of further seal that.
Which, great trade. I'm not downing your trade. This is a fucking insane trade. I'm happy this worked out for you. But in the beginning here, you could definitely see a little bit of indecision. All right, let's see your other one. I'm assuming that's Monday. Yeah, here's today. Like right here, I like this. You're more decisive. Held, bounced, you got in, you didn't exit on the first new high, you actually allowed it to do something. Then you trimmed. Then you fully exited, which I kind of like that you actually held through that because that was just one dip, didn't break anything. Tech was actually starting to help us out more there too. Then you double down again, which actually kind of respect this one compared to the first one because this is more spaced out. See what I mean? Whereas the other one, it was like in, out, in more, out. Whereas this one, it's like in, out, not really working out too well, out, next one, in. Which I guess you could say you're a little antsy here because you did exit and then get right back in. But I could feel why you would want to finish off that first trade just to kind of seal the deal on it. I respect that. I think one thing, and I don't know if you've done that or not, I'm not saying you are, but if you're going to do that, definitely don't have like your second trade be heavier than the first. Because then it just feels like you're like tripling down on the same trade. Damn, that was that was a lot of movement for your contract for that to be 100% already. That's really good. New high into new high. Good job too, though, with the hold of the good levels down here. I see you have the gap marked as well. And then using, I think you set it up here as well. No, you said it in the review. Using XOK to kind of help you with that direction. Instead of just this chart on its own, kind of using something else to help you. Fire freaking calendar, dude. You're kind of making Ace look like a rookie now, dude. Oh, he created that? I thought it was by that one chick. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I never really knew who created it or not, but that's, yeah, rest in peace. Or maybe I saw it promoted by that one chick, because that's where me and Leland found it. I can't remember her name. Good shit, though, Rigney. Huge W. Sarah, there you go. Yeah, good memory. That's who I thought invented it, but I think y'all are right. Actually, that person died, and then she just got kind of popular, kind of reposting it. I think, but that is like the one strategy I haven't seen people abuse maliciously because I think it's kind of over people's heads. I've seen people go over it, but not sell it. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who take my strategy, like the pre-market high to pre-market low thing, and they turn it into their own thing, rename it, sell it to people. But I haven't seen people sell the strat. It's more or less just like people promoting it because it's such a good, cool way of looking at candlesticks. It's not like it is a strategy. Don't get me wrong, but it's just cool how you look at it. So it's a little different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Rest in peace. That's crazy. I personally never used it because I was already kind of on candlesticks, so it was really hard for me to transition into the numbers thing. Because then it's like it feels like I was having to memorize the same thing twice. But I have read into it. It's very cool. And then Leland, of course, has loved it. So
Tracks the P&L of every month and year-end data on the entries as well in pictures, and I can't share it because it's local. But yeah, no, that's cool. It's cool you're organized. Ace would be proud though. One last check before I end the stream. Is anybody got any questions or you want to go over anything? Feel free to let me know. If not, then I'll end it there. Again, thank you guys again for all the subs, likes, all the different things you guys do. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I don't really post there. I just kind of post news that I'm already posting in Discord, in my links, like to the streams. Join the Discord if you want. Check out the YouTube content you have access to. I would definitely check out all the free shit because there's honestly so much of it. So don't just join in here and sign up and be an idiot. Join in here and actually go through some stuff first and actually understand all the things people look at in here. If you want to support, that's cool. But honestly, I hope you guys get stuff out of this and hope you enjoy the streams. Hope you enjoy the breakdowns and the videos, all the different, levels and stuff we go over, the sectors, candlestick patterns. Thank you. I'm going to give 5 memberships tomorrow. I appreciate that if you do, but if you don't, also cool, dude. I love you regardless. But yeah, I think I'll end it there. Thanks, B. Thank you, Garden. I appreciate you. And Fipo, I'll call you right after I end this. All right, well, see you guys later on. Thank you guys again. I will see you later. Love you all.